What's up, Hippo lovers? Last chance to qualify for the $200,000 Red Bull Wololo event. Accm versus DauT, our first match of the day. We're starting off on Arabia in a best of 7. You can see the maps and the civs at the top. Let's jump into the action. We see Accm going for TaToH and DauT is going for Franks. Stable archer range opening here from our Frank player and stable opening by our TaToH player. This is the moment where I ask you about predictions in the chat. Accm versus DauT. I think, what did I say on Twitter? Was it 4-1? Was it 4-2? One of the two. I will say 4-1 Accm here. I think he is in great shape, trained a lot, and is looking mighty hot. DauT, obviously crazy performance to get this far. The question is, will it stop here, or will he have the big story and will join Vinchester there, the two Russians, together with B from AO4, obviously, in Heidelberg. Lots of farms, only one villager on gold here by DauT, indicating that he actually is going for some skirmishes, but sees okay, it's on scout opening, so doesn't go over there. Score is something we can indeed add. Enable scoreboard, best of, oh boy. What is this preparation? Accm, and we go for Red Bull Wololo Qualifier 2. Best of 7 decider. Right? Nice. Accm really became an established top player in the last 2 years. Yeah, I think in the last rankings, I do my yearly ranking with the top 15 in the world, and I think he made top 10 both last times. Yeah. Will score be shown play a role in the main event? Yeah, as always. Whoever leads the score after 1 hour 15 minutes in-game time is going to win the game, no matter the status of anything else. He competes in every tournament. Yeah, he also plays the mass amount of the $250 tournaments, where you always see TaToH versus Accm in the final. You already did predictions for the day, obviously, on my Twitter. And for this one, just on stream. Mark it now to follow this one up. And we're actually going for archers. Huh. Bit of a surprise to me. I could trap this one. Obviously, those two scouts not the most important thing. And there will be a crossbow timing, but actually faster castle age, so I think knights will deal with that quite easily. Expo camel opening in castle age. I'm not too sure if we see that many camels. Second stable. I'm a bit curious how much that's going to be an option, right? We're both fully walled. We don't have to fight that much. I think adding town centers and just being active on the map, not losing your crossbow math, should be enough. Have I ever hit all the predictions correctly? Well, with exact scores, no. But with who wins, yeah, very often. May I ask if Nili was satisfied with his performance yesterday? You may ask. Philip, ayo. I was not unhappy with how I played. I was more unhappy with the result. And yeah, I think, oh, double stable. So indeed we will see camels. Interesting. The thing is, I think I'm playing my best Age of Empires ever. And Nili from yesterday would just so clearly clap Nili from a year ago. But the level just rose so much that it wasn't enough. Feels a bit Nili man, but also really good for the scene that the level got that high. Scouting, really beautiful here by DauT. That he tracks those archers around. Now sends the skirms back. Only now the first armor upgrades. We're going with the front TC, TC in the back. And we go CA even with a double stable. Did ACCM forget that he had a second stable? Or the first stable? And built this one for husbandry and bloodlines? Crossbow upgrade now. Shouldn't be a lot of losses though. The level is crazy right now. Who would have imagined Kingston, Sebastian, Ozone get this far? Well, Ozone made a round of 64, right? That's something I would have predicted as well. But yeah, Sebastian and Kingstone. Clearly people that were mentioned before, right? When I made my predictions during the week and gave my percentages. People even stopped by and said like, what's up with Sebastian? What's up with Kingston? Especially a lot of people said like Kingston was high on their radar. I just felt like I had really good performances against him on the ladder lately. That I didn't see him going that crazy. But obviously there's a difference between ladder and tournament performance. And below a lot of those stories, people that take ladder less seriously and own the tournaments. Double stable into one night. Yeah, I feel like he forgot that he already had one stable extra. Crossbow's now active, and without the second armor, Dark is playing this one extremely greedy. Huh. TC outside now, CA transition. What is this army composition? It's just weird to me. Going for skirms now. Moves out, not even Botkin. We have the second armor before Botkin. I'm not a big fan of this. Lost 2 farms already. Third farm with 140 food out here as well. Loses 2 crossbows. And now disengages after he sees elite skirm. Eco advantage should slowly shift into favor of the TaToH player. No, 30C here as well. So my bad. And should be pretty even. Those crossbows can't really take the fight. Maybe take some arrows towards the direction of the knights. Some CA raid. Lost actually one there. And disengages. So we go into a castle age direction without much harm done. And then we have to question even transitions. I think on paper I prefer TaToH there. If they get to mass CA, Hassa, maybe even some Kashyyyks mixed in. I only see Paladins as the big option. Paladins, not really the 1v1 unit there. You are so starved on gold in lots of scenarios. Halberdier is a good counter. Plus, Heavy Camels obviously an option for TaToHs. So I see that problematic. Don't Franks really struggle versus CA? I wouldn't say that. No. Like, knights can do something, you can go for skirms, but
Nili casting hype.
Obviously, once we get to heavy CA. And then, as you can see with the black things here, we don't have the last attack upgrade for skirms, and we don't have the last armor for the skirms. So they're pretty useless in Imp. 1 to 5 eco upgrades. Oh yeah, that's a nice advantage for Dark. So his resource income certainly has to be better here. Eldeniro, thanks for the shop. Manual aggression now. Still no farm upgrades. I think you want to squeeze it in eventually. Obviously TaToH can delay it a bit. Gets solid extra 600 food that you don't have to get from farms. But still, I feel like the timing could have been. Manual. Potentially scaring those skirmishes away. Could take another farm out, and that one was just seeded. Cheap castle around for map control would be good bet here. Prevent CAs running around. Yeah, but that's a lot of resources that you don't have in army, right? And right now TaToH has the center hill. So if TaToH gets a castle up here, it doesn't matter if you have 6 other castles around. You will still lose everything. Still no ballistics here from ACM. Would love to see that. And that TC is getting pressured quite a bit. I have to question the choice of Dark here. Barely went for knights. Only now the second armor upgrade. Once that finishes, I think he can take an engagement. Skirmishers hiding in that town center. Now popping out. Does some damage. Obviously 1 minimum damage here dealt. Jumps back into it. Knight running around. Getting some scouting. Would love to see some monks being added here for ACCM as well. Now double Mangonel, still continuing with the damage. Expecting villagers to be sent forward. And quite some villagers to be sent forward. Look at the stone. And now the big engagement here. Forging is coming in. Skirmishes over here. Will they eat the Mangonel shot? Splitting away from this one. Tricky moves. Mangonel barely shooting. Okay, now they shoot once. And
Franks need a small nerf. Either Losin free farm up.
And then we see that CA now need to micro all those knights down. Really well done. Still one Mangonel alive. And the castle will go up. Knight numbers simply weren't there. Skirms couldn't really get the shots in. And now the castle here. I'm not sure if I really like this one. Still no ballistics on ACM side. Skirms nicely dodging the Mangonel shots. But hill advantage just too massive for TaToH. Some villagers could die here. Still 3 knights out as well to deal with those skirmishes. And CA, they are going to find some villager kills. And I'm not even sure how DauT can deal with this. CA on the hill. Skirms are dying. Military count is 32 to 5. Look at that value. It's 1 military. It's 1 knight against 30 units. The castle getting threatened quite a bit. 80% here. And this feels like ACCM is off to a really good start into the set of his life. Honestly. Biggest tournament win probably for him. Just if he qualifies. I obviously mentioned the numbers there multiple times. What I think the big value is of this ticket. Just threw around the number of like, what was it? Like 15,000 multiple times. Not sure how reasonable that is as an assumption, but it's massive for ACCM, right? He could not make Red Bull Wololo 5 and was really sad with that. But now he's back. He trained a lot and he's looking mighty strong. Expands to 4th town center as well. Castle still is up, going for Capoch as well. Now the big question, do you want to attack the castle or do you want to take out the town center? Feels like the town center is the way to go for now. Actually goes double lumber camp here at the front, a bit surprising to me. CA need to stay on that hill. It's just so much guaranteed damage, right? Because those 10 villagers are idle. And as you can see, more income now for ACCM. Villagers are being sent here. Mangonel ground attacks, maybe. Villagers over here going down. We are at 91%. 4 villagers left. Getting some hammers in. 3 villagers being sent back as well. And I think DauT is running out of options here. Knights are now being sent in again, but running into the ground attacks. GG. ACCM takes game 1 in quite convincing fashion. And we have to question the army composition here of DauT. Like, barely built any knights, barely got into skirms. And we have to look at this, right? Franks, typically a civilization that has all the map control in the world. You go for knights, you can add skirmishes. And here, crossbow are deep in your base. And you have 7 feudal skirms and 3 knights with 1 armor upgrade. And I think that's the moment where I felt DauT could have gone for some more army, could have gotten some more map control, and then the game plays out so much easier for him. KD, way better for ACCM, obviously fighting against that hill there. Economy, well, DauT added the 3rd town center quite nice and early, and therefore income was solid. Obviously, Frank economy plus all the eco upgrades. Really smooth for him, but didn't really matter. 1-0, the lead for what most of us believe is the favorite in the set. Okay, let's jump into game 2. ACCM versus DauT ACCM with a solid lead, and we are jumping into Kawasan. I will quickly need to look at civilizations again. Where are Huns? Huns are on DauT's side. Typically a strong pick here. So we are going back into it. Might have been a counter, pick Berbers, and then DauT thought, okay, ACCM is going for Berbers, so I go for Hindustanis. Huh. Okay. Pushes those away. Okay, so stable opening versus archery range opening by ACCM. 4 on gold here. And let's see, archery range follow up here. Good chance that we might get a co-caster for this set as well. Now the first spearman out there shouldn't get a hit. Dark pretty active fingers here. And first dog, left hand side, right hand side, no one really going for one yet. Dark walls the front. 3 spearmen, 1 archer only. Okay, does not want to take any engagements here. Dark has to wall the front, knows that he cannot engage into that. Is saving his berries at the front. Solid stuff there, and well, some deer taken. Only 1 villager on gold. Screams a bit like skirmisher opening here. Walling left hand side. Also some more deer, 1 scout for the defense. Stable follow-up and easily takes 1 spearman without basically taking any damage. And more walls. Lots of map control for Accm. And I wanted to say how Dark walled himself off means he's never going for that pond. But he already has a villager here. And that's something Accm can't know. So I think Accm won't contest the bottom pond like he normally would. This actually, it's pretty good for Dark. Also, this villager pick will be pretty solid for Dark. Barely any damage taken. Pretty solid opening here, I would think, for Dark. Scouts are still active. Archer and Spearman have to go back. Not a big question. How many scouts are we going for? Stable was scouted, so it's not a big surprise. Don't expect Dark to heavily go into skirmishes. Bit surprised that he doesn't wall the top. Villager now sneaking around. Doc is scouted, so nice awareness by Accm. Absolutely love that. And game absolutely stabilizes. Not too much happening right now. The fight for the pawns will be starting pretty soon. Villager now here, scout around, wants to maybe find a villager, but spearmen are around as well. And still no real damage dealt. So 1-1 KD, that's the 1 spearman that was lost here, the 1 villager that was lost here. And that's kind of it. And both players will go towards Castle Age. And then we have to question who has the better camel. 25% faster attack or 15% cheaper. Now the question, Dark, does he? Oh, he doesn't know about the dock. And he scouts into a direction that would feel natural for Accm to build a dock. So that will go unscouted. He will open 2 fishing ships. Ay. Now goes around and splits here. Interesting move. This one is known. Doesn't want to commit with a fire galley too early here. Huh. One's just opening with a galley before a fishing ship to prevent any dock. How do you prevent a dog? With a galley. It's a bit... What's so bad about dogs? Well, opening galley just means that if the opponent gets the dock up, a fire galley easily kills the galley. So, yeah, if you know, okay, I have the pond fully secured, then it's good. But the galley also would need to patrol a big area, right? You kind of need to have a zigzag here. And even then, it automatically attacks the dock once it's built. So, for example, you're patrolling here. The galley is attacking the dock there. And therefore, it's simply not guaranteed that you will prevent it. We see that more on 4 lakes, where the area where docking is more limited, right? It's basically 2 sites instead of 4 sites on 4 lakes. And that's why we see way more galleys on that one. Good question. Just a typo. Ooh! Villager saved here by Accm. Castle timing a bit better for our Vietnamese. Knight now out, monastery being built as well. And it seems like we are playing double stable, 1 archery range, 1 TC play, while Dark kept his stone, did not sell it. and is walling himself up. Goes for the double stable play as well. But the 8 is not really there for the camel. That means crossbows are still staying active. Oh, it's a bit problematic. The crossbows still have so much value for our Berber player here. Now also the question if we should maybe squeeze in some skirms ourselves. Water 1 at the left hand side, or is it? Fire ship, so we already have the upgrade. So I assume that ACCM will contest both pawns and will most likely actually win the left hand side one here. Yeah, looks like it. Although that... Is that second fire galley even participating? Yeah, seems like it now. More knights, first relics are being grabbed as well. And ACCM just plays a really chilled game. And DauT plays with extra TCs. And now that I know that a lot of people feel that's not the way to go on Kabasan. Extra town centers. You're giving up all the free food. You're giving up 5 relics. You're giving up the hill advantage. And DauT gives to that. Basically to ACCM. Accepts, okay, I'm going for counter units. But that means ACM will play a reasonably good game here for himself. Now the split around there. Pawn 1 at the left hand side. Fishing ships being added. Probably moving out here once we have 2 fires and 1 demo. TC 3 being added. And this looks actually like Gulam approach then. But how? Why? Demo came out. And water should be won by ACCM. Like Gulam against Knight, not that great. Camels now being added as well. 2 relics. Third one on the way. Then probably some healing. Just staying active here is a good option. Bloodlines now coming in. And the second armor for DauT. Some more healing and ACM won't mind the spot. Now gets control over both pawns, so that advantage is taken away. DauT will be ahead in villagers. Right now he's 1 behind still, that's surprising. Huh. Scums won't really find too much. No villagers on stone yet. Goes on to the farming here. 11 on gold while going skirms, while having 3 town centers. And okay, now we're adding some more farmers. But food economy is simply not there. Not unlikely that ACM will try to get a castle up here. We'll try to get some town centers up there as well. Goes for the stone protection first. And just patiently chills this one out. Now fully healing his army and army value. Double for ACCM. Obviously, 5 fire ships need to be discounted here. Not really adding too much to the land fight anymore. But still, feels like 2.5 to 1.5k. Good spot for ACCM, looking primed position to maybe even go into a 2-0 lead. Now even goes for fervor. Wow. An upgrade we barely see for non-Bohemian players on and non-Vipers. Faster movement for monks. Huh. DauT can fight this? I'm not too sure. It's uphill. It's 5 monks now. No way. No way. Not a single monk yourself. This is looking really solid for ACCM. Maybe without all the monks, I could see how the camels could do something. But it's just everything so cheap. Did you just hear the bird? It said cheap. Feels a bit like a repeat of game 1. ACCM went for some crossbows. DauT, lots of eco upgrades. Delayed his military commitment a bit. And just lost valuable situations in the center of the map. Ooh, nice quick wall here. Saves the villager. Outpost, let's take a look at the vision of ACM. With that, he sees all the important things. Sees the army moving at all times. And this is so relaxing. You see them adding a stable now as well. You don't know about the 3rd town center. You know about the 2nd town center. But you assume that it's 3 town centers against your 2 town centers. But you don't mind too much. EGC TV, ayo! The official channel for the AoE 4 coverage. of the road to Heidelberg. Thanks for your support. 11 months. Doesn't feel that long. Skirm's trying to find an engagement here. Impossible against the hill. We are now a solid 15 villages ahead. So that's exactly what we expected from Hindustanis. I think the only players... No, don't go for a 4th town center. What are like 5 to 10 more villagers giving us here? I don't think anything. Such a nice TC spot. I agree with you. Okay, so we will likely build a castle here. Dark obviously feels okay. I'm Hindustani, strong civilization. I will get to Gulam, have lots of stone. I have 40C running. There's no need to give up, right? It makes lots of sense to continue. Still lots of access to gold. We know your opponent can't have more villagers than you. Maybe some more workers, but even that is questionable. So playing on makes lots of sense. It just feels like the patience of ACCM is something I just admire. I would already have like 3 crossbows here, 4 crossbows trying to make something happen. Meanwhile, I try to snipe some units in the center, moving some knights. But no, ACCM, he's fine with this really minimal KD. 21 to 15 here. Castle, also not in the most important area. Not spotted though, so barely. Look at that. Exactly at the edge of the line of sight. Builds the castle with 3 villagers. Knows that that's not the most important thing. Skirm camel production is what he's aiming for. And now ACCM feels confident. Castle up the hill means... And now he spots the castle. And now we don't have enough villagers. Now crossbows around, mangonels around as well. And now we need to engage this. Dark needs to take a fight now. He's going left-hand side, runs into the castle. We don't have ballistics. Obviously, raiding's not the craziest thing. What's this one off? Forces some deletes there. Goes for the town center, crossbows around. ACM sees the whole army, gives up his hill advantage. Now we are fighting on even ground, but Castle in the back is helping. That's a big army from both players. As you can see, 100 military units now clashing against each other. Monks in the back going for some conversions. Seems like only split on 2 camels, 3 camels though. Mangonel not taking the fight at the top there against the skirmishers, trying to go for it, but nice micro behind us. Crossbows are completely evaporating, and that was a good fight here for Dark. All things considered, conversions were not really there, but the damage output is not there. Enough cavalry, enough camels there to deal with all of that, and everything went downhill there. Even though Dark was trying to fight downhill, but the castle in the back, you always had to be on the move. And that was just a pretty clean clap. Monks suiciding themselves. They said they fought the holy battle and giving this one up. Really big engagement here, but Dark simply was too outnumbered and now sitting at 9 military against 41. That castle very unlikely to go up. 100 villages for ACCM. Ballistics now flying in as well. That town center gonorrhea, and castle will go down as well. That second castle I don't think will allow the comeback, and ACCM has to be happy with how clean he is playing here. Half the camels attack the Berryvilles under the castle. Okay, we will investigate that one. Replay will be brought to you by Capture H Definitive Edition. There goes my points. Betting on Dark. That castle stopped as well. ACM now flirting with Imperial Age, while Dark actually adding more stables. That castle, we'd have to take a look at the stone count of Dark. Still 1k. Can you show relic golds? Sure, after the game. Camel even deleted there. 1.1k stone. Are we going for this or not? Was for the town center first. We are imping this one. Conversions could start now. Monks going for 2 different camels. And a villager might be converted here at the top. Not really sure how intentional that is. Could maybe stop the castle a bit more. Camels are winning the fight here. More villagers are being sent in. Indeed, villager converted. Knights are dealing with this one. This one has to be the GG here. So much is going down. Military count just in a world of pain. More camels are coming in. Should find some clear ups here. Not a lot of protection anymore. But somehow there are 7 crossbows hiding behind this mangonel. Completely out of vision. And those camels probably will overstay their welcome. Not really seeing how where they're getting even slaughtered from. 30 population lead now for our Vietnamese expansion here at the left hand side, trying to protect the gold. I don't mind this one at all. And maybe the castle goes up, but for how long? Still double castle setup here behind this one. Ooh. DauT is making a lot of right moves. It just felt like Accm had this big lead. And this was the center. So maybe, and this is what we think of DauT, right? Incredible macro, micro production keeps everything rolling. The focus and the map awareness on this one. Maybe something that we could question if we were very critical. Which you obviously aren't. Oh, camels running back. Oh, camel archers running back. Camels are coming in there. Even the imp timing, not forcing the GG out of DauT. Want to continue this one. Continues expanding as well. Gets the castle up. Still 2 extra golds. Can't be too unhappy with that. Could question the map generation here, right? Both of the extra golds on the north of the ponds. Clearly better for the player spawning at the top. And DauT taps this one out. 2-0 here for the favorite. Let's maybe take another look at that big engagement that was coming over here, right? And let's see where the camels were fighting. We have quite some villagers here. Where did the camels go? How many were converted? So this is 33 camels, 2 more in the queue. Patrols now coming in. Mangonels not ground attacking. That was certainly a mistake. And now the patrol is starting, and look at that group. Oh no, oh no, massive fight over here. And we have a solid 12 camels dealing with villagers. Oh, great spot. Simply patrolling in from here and therefore running into those villagers. Those 12 camels, and how close this fight was, could have won the game. Or not won the game, but won the fight. Only now they're joining the party. No, but they moved only 3 inches. So much castle fire against them as well. If you take the fight here, castle is helping out barely, I would think. And now everything gets cleared up and Accm wins this one. Patrolled a bit too early. Seems like patrolled from here instead of running in and then patrolling the rest. Great spot, great spot. And we will co-cast with Hera the next games after we take a look at the statistics. And I can already predict. I will ask Hera what what went wrong in that game, and he will explain me that DauT boomed too much and didn't focus on the center enough, and he thinks he will question the 3TC play. Let's see what he has to say. Heyo!
Hello, Nili. How's it going, man?
Doing fine, doing fine.
Have you enjoyed the game so far? Pretty, DauT is looking a little like DauT to my eyes right now. I don't know what's going on with those castles.
Like
I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. Yeah. There were some losses for sure. What do you think about the strategic choices of DauT in game 2?
Like going on from like game 1, I felt like he was like pretty passive, but like it's okay because the matchup. Going on to game 2, once again, very passive, but this time he had no reason to because like this map is all about the middle, so I was very surprised to see him play so defensively there. Didn't like it at all. What did you think?
Yeah, no. It was more like me predicting what you would say, because that's exactly what you said, I think, on stream like 1 or 2 days ago. where you played Cavasan and felt like you need to play this more aggressively in Castle Age. He basically gave up the hill, he gave up 5 relics, and worker advantage wasn't there.
Yeah. I even think like you could win if you give up the center and you boom. Like it's possible, but it's so much harder. And I think like as a human, you want to go for like the more consistent result. Like you can't go for the result that requires you to like play perfectly to win. And so for that reason, I think you should just go all in every time for the center because that's the easiest road to victory, pretty much.
Yeah, it's like you have to count on your opponent being impatient and making missteps in the sense that they're overbuilding army or underbuilding army. And ACM with the outpost just always knew what he was up against.
Dude, don't you feel like outposts are underused? Like 3 outposts there give him so much vision. He was able to track the army. Loved it. Really good from him.
I would have agreed with you like a month ago, but I've seen so many outposts in the last weeks that I think people are really catching up. Yeah, people are realizing how strong they are. Yeah, that's awesome. I like that. AoE2 keeps getting pushed to the next level. It seems. I think the game is in now. Let's see if I can get in. But yeah, hopping into this game, we have Dark and Yellow as Vikings versus ACCM and Red as Bohemians. And right away, we're seeing a demo from ACCM and a galley from Dark. Not a fan of the demo though. I gotta be honest. I think the galley opening is much better in my opinion. It's Fire Galley followed by ACCM. Yeah, that demo is basically you're hoping to get 2 fishing ships.
Yeah.
Which is not really... It's counting on your opponent to make a mistake. Yeah. You always get 1 and that was not efficient.
Yeah, exactly. 1 for 1 and the galley just gets more value here over time. Both players I expect to see just walling up the land. It's very hard to go for any early game aggression on this map just because it's such an easy wall. There we go. ACM just adding a couple houses and palisade walls. Nothing too crazy here. As we see Dark now sniping some fish with the galley.
But fishing ships moving to the side. Fire Galley comes out. Shouldn't find the kill. And yeah, I've never seen successful feudal age aggression on this one. We've seen a lot of people like abuse the market, side siege workshop, side stable, especially with like Saracens. And some people also opened like an archer range at home. But it just feels like late Castle Age is where the land action really starts.
Yeah, I highly agree. And I think I saw one game. It was Boros versus Ganji. Boros had poles, and he went for a late or early Castle Age 3 light cav. That's all he did, and he just used them to control the map. And I really like that. Just a little bit of aggression, early to mid Castle Age to control the map because the golds on the sides, guys, are super important on this map. And then he just went for mostly a boom after that. One for 1 on the demo once again here from ACCM.
I think the moment I have 3 galleys, I start adding fishing ships. I don't think you lose water if you have 3 galleys.
Yeah, on a map like this, I tend to agree, yeah. Because you can kite from fire galleys no matter how many he has, pretty much. Oh. A little sloppy there. That was a bit weird, but... I'm not really sure what happened there.
But yeah. Fire galley continued to be produced by ACCM. Well, I think we have to talk late game army compositions, right? Vikings, they will win water very, very likely. They will go for longboats, maybe some more fishing ships, try to control cannon galleons. We just feel like Bohemians, if they get to Nietzsche, the list of counters from Vikings aren't long.
If at all. I can't even think of one to be honest, because you don't have the monks that can convert, you don't even have like bombard cannons, maybe onagers, but those are not countering bombards at all, pretty much. So you have just arbalest skirm maybe, and it's very limited, especially if it's in a tight area.
Yeah, cavalry not really an option for Vikings either, and therefore we feel if it goes into like an even game past minute 30, Bohemians should be looking pretty hot. If they get 1 gold area for themselves, and it's not like an instant trap war, then I really like the spot for Bohemians. Plus, be aware that early bombard cannons are really important in those trap wars, and you can already get chemistry on the way to him.
Yeah. That's one of the most underrated things about Bohemians, I think. It's something I never really thought of, but now it's been very popular at this point that people are realizing you pick up chemistry on the way up to Castle Age, and then instead of going for trebs right away, you just go right away bombard cannons, and that pretty much wins you every castle stalemate, which is pretty cool. Vikings, though, we'll be up to Castle Age slightly later with the water control as compensation. ACCM, though, looking pretty solid he can add 2 town centers when he gets to Castle Age here. The question is, will he go right away to the gold on the outside, or will he just boom at home? I'm not too sure what he wants to do here.
You get your answer by looking at how the villagers are moving. Once you see next to the stone feels very likely. Once you see at the bottom feels very likely. So wants to go for the boom first. Maybe buys himself the 30C or will have enough stone there. I've also seen some wagons being built by Bohemians and try to get the control. Because again, Vikings, not great against the unique unit there. They wouldn't need to go for knights.
Yeah. Although I'm not a huge fan of the wagons in general, it does feel like Vikings, it's maybe like the best civ to use them against. But I think the wagons in general are just too weak to justify it. But we'll see how it goes going into the late game here. River comes down though for ACCM. That's going to be a massive boost actually. So he's going for a monastery for an economy approach first, and then he's going to try to pick up some relics, which is really cool. With 3 town centers here.
I did something really embarrassing the other day, and I was really happy that it was not streamed. I played Bohemians, did further as well, and somehow late Castle Age I was pausing the game because I felt like we are playing on fast speed. Simply because the villagers moved so fast and it felt so unnatural to me. I
can kind of feel that though. They go so fast once you get handcart and fervor.
Somehow, like how they moved, and it just felt wrong.
Yeah, I like that. Hopefully we see that this game because it's actually quite funny to watch. And I remember the first time I saw that as well. I was like, damn, you can do a lot with these builds.
Yeah, you get it way faster. Like for now, we still don't have wheelbarrows, so it's not their full potential. But yeah, crossbows are scouted. 3TC set up for both of them. I would really like to see DauT add some fishing ships. Only 2 here. Is he thinking about fast imping? Look at the resources. But no, he has to go for more.
I think he might be, but I don't think it's correct. Like, I think you need to just add economy here. And I do agree with you. I think if you're going to go for the water approach, I'd want more than 2 fish out of it. It doesn't seem worth it at this kind of investment.
Kill another fire galley.
I do like the crossbow approach though. I think that's good with Vikings. So I think like the idea of going for crossbows here is that you get the map control and you kind of delay your opponent. You force him to make a lot of units early on, and you want that as Vikings because you've got handcart behind it. In theory, it's good to keep your opponent a little bit more in Castle Age.
Do you think DauT's strategy was, okay, I play crossbow fast imp? Or he just arrives with those resources and now made up like, okay, I have 1,000 food, 500 gold, I will make something happen. Because like, I don't see any buildings yet.
Because he's on stone, I feel like maybe this is his plan all along with Vikings. Because I do know like forward castle into fast imp is like such a popular strategy right now amongst a lot of the Empire War players. So I do think that's a possibility. But seeing him at that 4th town center now, I'm not so sure anymore, honestly.
Scout at the right hand side for already 45 HP and gets the conversion. It was close, but it would have been really unfortunate if it did not happen. Scouted or started the conversion quite early, plus obviously had Sanctity. Archers moving back on the left hand side, and just feels like DauT has resources to click in for more than a minute already, but simply lacking buildings.
That's super awkward as well, because like, does he even want to go up to imp this fast? Is there a reason not to at this point? I mean, he's adding a monastery right now. I think at this point you just go for it. There's no reason not to. You don't want to keep those resources in the stockpile for no reason. ACM though, cast on the right hand side, that's going to deny DauT's town center here, and it's going to secure ACCM the gold. So a big moment right now for ACCM, and DauT is forced to prove something, I think, because now ACCM has good control of the map, and he's got the better late game civ. So DauT is kind of a little bit of a timer right now, in my opinion.
Really important that DauT doesn't randomly queue up a longboat now, doesn't have a single villager on gold. Okay, now the 3 at the left hand side with the town center, but that will be stopped. And, well, the big question mark is now ACCM. Is he just pushing to the top and tries to play the long game? Or does he think, okay, now my spot, I have secured the top, and also starts pushing the bottom gold?
Yeah, that's a really interesting thing, actually. I think because you see your opponent also on this side, you can leave the bottom gold. You don't really care about it too much because no one's on it right now. I think that's probably the best way to think about it. But I think this could be advantageous for DauT, because now if he can somehow manage to get a castle on that top side as well, he might be able to win the Treb War, because Accm is very far from Imperial Age right now, and DauT has just clicked 2 minutes and 40 seconds away. Problem is, I don't know if he's going to be able to get the map control to get that castle up top. That's the big issue there.
Yeah, army is so far out of position. It feels like the bottom is so much safer. But that's the scenario that we mentioned earlier, right? Then the fast imp won't matter that much. And then we feel Bohemians getting slowly but surely towards their dream army composition in imp.
Yep. And we can already see those wagons causing some problems as well. Like you said, like, archers don't really kill these, scrims don't kill them. You really need like either some siege and some landing some nice mangonel shots, or you need to go for some sort of cavalry, and they're just very annoying right now here. You can see them kind of body blocking the villas a little bit here.
Oh man. Oh, where's the water support? Okay, now coming over. But still, surely annoying. Only 3 villages on gold. Gets the TC up at the bottom. And another castle by Accm. Oh, are those enough archers to stop this? Scorpion not getting repaired, out of position. This is interesting.
With the Scorpion down, it's a lot easier here. The Monk does get a conversion. Monk will go down shortly after, most likely here. But the converted archer kills another archer, and all of a sudden now, DauT is going for his own castle. So DauT will just rely on the Treb War here. He's not going to try to stop this castle. I think that's a good choice. But the issue now is that Accm has won the top. And if he only loses a castle at the bottom, that's totally fine for him. Remember his idea now is just to buy time. He's got 2 relics in the bank, so just buy time till late game. Use the Bohemian powerhouse.
Gold income won't be pretty. Has to invest quite a bit there, Dark, for the traps, meaning that his crossbow upgrade will be delayed, arbalest upgrade potentially, even will lose his archers. That's not a great setup for his imp transition.
I mean, he's getting very little out of imp, just a couple trebs, right? I don't know, I feel like you need way more momentum. Like, Accm's already up to imp right now. We talked about chemistry coming in soon.
It's crazy how similar the villager count is as well. How many villagers did we see lose? Okay, 6 and 5. So pretty even there. Relic-wise, Accm slight advantage with the 2-2-1. Could potentially go for a third one. But it just feels like it's guaranteed that Accm will get 1 gold spot. And the other one is still contested.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Like, the whole aggression from DauT with the fast imp needed him to secure both gold spots, or at least heavily secure one and then contest the other one. But it's the scenario is flipped at this point. Let's see how much value he gets out of the trebs right now. He could force a lot of repairs. Accm though does have a lot on stone. Keep in mind the Bohemian economy bonus. They don't get handcart for free like Vikings, but they get both mining upgrades for gold and stone, which is such a massive advantage as well when it comes to these castle wars. Yeah.
Heavily underappreciated, I think, as well. Especially with that massive stone that you have at home. Gold, sometimes you are only on it for very small times on this map. So squeezing the most out of it, really valuable.
Highly agreed. And like, if it works out and you get the gold in the center as well, like then those upgrades pay off like crazy. So a lot of economy bonuses for Bohemians here. And those wagons being extremely annoying for DauT. And DauT has no military. That's the big idea. He's relying only on his navy, but the navy isn't really doing a whole lot for him right now, besides a little bit of map control on the edges.
1 cannon gun would have been nice. I actually believe that Vikings should have one of their earliest upgrades to be chemistry. Very unintuitive for Vikings because you don't get to bombard cannons, which is the main reason why you go chemistry that early. But cannon galleons, if you won water, actually helping out quite a bit. Just imagine like where his army is right now. He could already pressure even 2 town centers potentially.
Yeah, and the thing about cannon galleons, which is what I like about them on this map, is that like there's nothing that fights them on the land pretty much. So if you've got cannon galleons, they're going to be uncontested, hitting buildings all game, and that's a really strong thing to have, I think. Asset
wagons now falling. Quite funny how much damage they did in the back, how much annoyance they delivered. Yeah. And now, well, siege workshops are being built, and as you mentioned earlier, bombard cannons, such a good unit in those trap wars.
Yeah. We see bombard cannons coming out on the bottom side, but 2 trebs from Accm on the top side. Or sorry, just 1 treb for the time being, and conscription. But he's looking to fight the top side with a lot more trebs, a lot more siege. Also getting some bombard cannons as well. So ACM is holding the bottom and looking to push the top here. That's the strategy he's going for. Looks like Dark has won the Treb War on the bottom. Might look to push that one home now and kind of reclaim or claim that gold for himself. Top side is still heavily contested at the moment though.
Interesting, the bombard cannon mainly focused on villages instead of the traps. Just
Yeah,
try to
that's a
deny the
mistake.
gold income.
I think that's a mistake though. I think you should definitely go for the Trebs. But maybe he feels like he can't, because right now there's some berserkers coming out. The Trebs can easily snipe the cannon as well, which we've seen happen quite a lot lately.
And cannoneers for
cannoneer
the
coming in as
rescue. Repairs coming in as well. I wouldn't mind to see more villagers trying to repair, and one hand cannoneer is actually pretty solid against berserks.
My god, very solid. Look at the damage output there. Yep, it looks like ACM's going to hold that cannon, so keeping that pressure on the bottom. The score difference is heavily in favor of Dark right now, but I don't think that's very accurate right now. I think that's mainly on resources collected and not so much reflective of the in-game position here.
Yeah, map control not shown in the score. Obviously both players explored a lot, so that won't be a big factor. And also, something that score doesn't show is who will have the better units in 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Score is a very deceiving factor. I think that's something that needs to be talked about more often, especially for the people that might be a little bit more new to watching Age of Empires. You might take a quick glance and see who's winning, but right now, I would take ACM's position despite despite Dark having a 1500 score lead. Not saying Dark can't win. We see a Treb shot on the cannon up top, and he lands it, man. Dude, Trebs on bomber cannons are just such a frustrating thing for me to watch, even.
I saw a YouTube video once that enriched quite some frustration from me as well.
Yeah, that was it's not a fun thing to play. That's for sure. Cannon Galleon's coming out now, though. By the way, I don't think we've spoken about them. Cannon Galleon's out on the field right now for Dark, so his whole strategy to control the water, maybe it's gonna pay off right now. Cannon Galleon's coming out. He's gonna try to hit that castle now.
Something that you rarely see is bombard cannon against cannon galleon, and the big difference is there that bombard cannon, the cannonballs are moving faster, plus they do splash damage. Cannon galleons don't do splash damage, so therefore you have to hit 100% accurately to do any damage, and therefore bombard cannon's way easier to micro.
Wow, interesting. I actually didn't quite know that. That's nice. And longboats though, a lot of longboats. It looks like, wait, hold on. I actually don't even mind Dark's position. His idea here is to not fight on the land, is to hold on land with his counter units like skirmishers and pikemen, and to focus most of his gold army on the water. I don't hate this approach from Dark. It actually could be a very smart idea. 5 cannon galleons now.
So to be elite cannon galleons.
Yep. That's what he's been playing towards.
Arbalest tech to deal with those hand cannoneers, but he's not mining any gold right now. He has some villages on stone. That's not enough. What is the stone price?
It's 90 gold. Selling 100 stone for 90 gold. 88 gold now. So still decent. I would probably just go skirms though. Why do you need to force Arbalest? Skirms are totally fine here.
I would agree with that as well.
Yeah.
You're so limited. You need the traps. You kind of want to go cannon galleons. Traps a bit out of position now. But still, as I said, like, Hoof Nietzsche will be crazy against cannon galleons and against longboats that are so stacked up.
Yeah, that's true. And what's the range on the Hoofneets? It's I think 13 total. Longboats don't go up to 13, so you will outrange all the ships pretty much, which is going to be a pretty big deal here.
Let's take a look. And you saw how ACM, by the way, built both of his first castles out of reach of the cannon galleons, potential cannon galleons later on. He always built them at the bottom. Really nice moves. I'm very sure it was intentional. Yeah.
Wow, yeah, that's really, really smart. He knows he's not fighting for water. He knows the threat from the water, and he just wants to fight on the land right now. More cannons coming out here. He's mixing. It's a mix of skirms and hand cannoneer from ACCM right now.
Oh, ACM was at 5 relics. Now he's down to 3 because he lost the monastery. Bombard cannon at the left-hand side getting attacked. Well, seems like that one will go down. And barely, but surely. Dark getting some gold back again at the bottom.
But does he really have access to that gold, or he's just sneaking it? Because I think ACCM should be able to win that side. If Dark has no gold, I don't think he can win this game. But if he's able to secure gold, then it looks like he's actually ahead right now. Why go Arbalest? He needs to get mass skirmishers right now. You just make 10 range skirmishers, and you just continue spamming skirms while maybe mixing in a Treb or 2 every now and then. It's the best way to hold this position while being able to throw army and keep ACCM off your gold. Arbalests just aren't cutting it. They're too valuable to be losing right now.
Hufnice
coming in.
The crazy thing. And Hufnice, I think they already got a 1 balance change, right? And they still feel so incredibly strong. Arguably one of the strongest units we have in the game right now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't know if you've heard MBL talk about it, but MBL's idea is basically you take a unit like the bomber cannon. It's already a late game unit. It's already a strong late game unit, and then you give it an upgrade like Paladin. He says that's what it feels like. And if you just go ahead and think about how strong that looks like, well, it really is that powerful. It's absolutely insane. We're also seeing the Wagenberg tactics making his gunpowder units move faster, making them extremely easy to micro as well.
It's fast away from those Arbalests left hand side. That will pay off even more in the future. Now tries against the Mangonels, and look at that, 41 elite skirmishers in the queue. So he really wants to go for some.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what he needed to do, because you just want to like have a unit that you can waste. That's the whole idea. You want to have a unit that you can waste on this side, so you can focus on other strategic areas. The problem is I don't see like what the water control is giving him, because the water control doesn't get you gold control. It just gets you the shore control. Which is something, but
yeah, I agree if the map was like Mediterranean style, but now you can actually walk through the center and can go for light cav raid. You can go for some berserks. You can go for something, and this is completely open and unwallable for ACCM.
And ACM lost a lot of his pressure. His defenses at the front. Like he lost his relics, he lost the town center. His base is wide open. That's an interesting point. I forgot about the shallows through the center. Actually, light cav raids could be a factor here. Look at the left hand side now. The Hoofneats coming out with some skirmishers there.
Also so easy to just get like 2 siege workshops up there, right? And what is ACM doing? He does not have a mobile army.
Oh, and we're seeing Dark. He's abandoning the gold on the left hand side on the bottom, and he's gonna go for a castle forward. 3 relics up for grabs there as well. I think that's something that we should talk about here. Dark has 2 back home. He can get 3 more at the front. That's massive gold income. Going for cap rams now. Siege rams could be massive on the front right now.
ACM is buying himself some stone for the defensive castle. Needs to go for some of Nietzsche there as well. His gold income is not too pretty either. And remember, if you don't have water control, you can't control the full gold. You can basically access like a third of the whole gold.
Oh, this map is really interesting, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. At first when I saw it, I thought, okay, it's just another water map, but it's actually a lot more complicated than that. And that being said, though, I feel like ACCM does still have a chance in this game. Although Dark is making some really nice plays right now, ACCM still has the better units on the land. So if he's just able to get some defensive Hoofneats at home, make some skirmishers, and reclaim those relics, he should be able to hold this one. On the left-hand side, it skirms with Hoofneats constantly right now.
Oh, which is tricky, obviously. Skirmishers are trying to move in. Eventually, they will find some kills. More repairs there. And, oh, connections are big.
Oh my god. That's literally like an onager from 13 range. So strong.
Faster projectile as well, right?
Yep. Hard to dodge. You don't know where it's going. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. One thing I want to talk about right now, by the way, I feel like Dark is over-investing population on the water. Don't you find? Like, maybe too many longboats?
Yeah, 20 is not needed. Like,
when
will 20 ever make a difference to 10?
Yeah. Maybe even 5 at some points as well. Yeah, I agree with that. You know, cannon galleons as well. He's got a lot, but it's just tough to bring yourself to delete them when you're in game like this, because it is a gold unit at the end of the day. But I can't help but feel like he needs the population elsewhere. And look at that, ACM held his side at home. Like, this push from Dark was really just kind of a fake push.
Yeah, and it's actually like it takes a lot of mental strength, right? And I lost a lot of like Mediterranean and Baltic games because I refused to delete my 40 galleons that just won me water. I invested so much there. Yeah, I'm getting raided. Yeah, I'm losing all my villagers, but I'm not deleting those 40 galleons.
Yeah. I swear it's one of the hardest things to do on a water map. It just feels so wrong to do it, but sometimes you just have to get the pop elsewhere. Look at the shots on the left-hand side. The skirmishers are getting melted from Dark. And this is the big problem with Vikings. They actually don't have a single power unit on the land. Maybe Siege Ram is the closest thing to a power unit as they've got. But Siege Ram, not exactly the strongest on its own.
Look at his resources. I don't mind Elite Berserks here. He has some... had some gold. Oh, only 2 relics. Tricky. He's now adding 7 stables at the left corner of the map. Not sure why.
I mean, Liereyy are okay to snipe some cannons, but dude, they're 60 HP, no armor. They are very weak from Vikings, and this is one of the reasons why I'm not a huge fan of Vikings on this map. For this exact reason, I feel like you get off to a good start, but then come late game, you just have no units. It's what we're seeing right now.
Nietzsche against Longboat's left hand side. Oh, they're so clumped up.
Oh my god.
Oh lord.
Oh my god, that's the delete we needed from Dark. Okay, we got it in the end.
Oh, bought himself some time.
Yeah. Get some more population now. Some sneaky stables. I say sneaky, but it's really in ACM's face on the top side for Dark now, or on the right hand side, I should say. So he's trying to make something happen with the raids right now. He's got a couple trebs as well in the mix there. Not a bad idea. I feel like he's really trying to make the game messy, trying to force ACM to be out of position.
Ooh. This has to be heartbreaking for Dark here, right? You know that you control like 75% of the map, but you're not really advancing anywhere.
It feels like in the areas where you need to push, you can't. That's what it feels like right now.
Because of Nietzsche is just so crazy. Maybe a light cav ram go through the center before ACM got that castle up as a reaction to your castle. Might have been good.
Yeah, I think the whole idea, and now we see the Hoofneeds actually dealing with the bomber cannons, by the way, quite easily there. Look at that. Yeah, on the bottom side there. Yeah, I think the forward castle from Dark, the idea to go there just wasn't quite correct, because you wanted to push there before showing your hand with the castle. The castle didn't accomplish anything by itself. And what's even more heartbreaking, I think, as well, is that Dark pretty much got his strategy executed. Like, he did everything he wanted to do with this matchup, and it just didn't work. And I think that could be pretty tough on the mental here.
We have to say that the timing didn't feel smooth, though, right?
Yeah,
he was honestly like 1,000 food, 500 gold for what felt like 2.5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, 3 minutes earlier, you do the exact same thing. You win Trebor on both sides, maybe, and it's maybe a completely different game. So, hard to say if this is even a winning matchup for Bohemians. Maybe we have to replay it a few times to really see how it plays out. But, yeah, not sure exactly what happened there for Dark. He was also quite late to go for like the light cap switch. Like, if that was your idea, you need to do it a lot earlier. Maybe you go for even Cavalier when you have the gold, because I don't know how you think of it, but like Cavalier for Vikings are really not that bad. It's a decent unit in my opinion.
Well, with 0 villagers on gold, I think that's something we won't see in this game. I believe that especially against Bohemians, so easy for them to like get ground attacks with the Nietzsche. Their pikemen on halberdiers will be so much more efficient. If you go for Cavaliers, it has to be like 30 plus, and has to be played like an all-in.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, at some point, like once you get control of the water, instead of going for like Arbalest, you just go skirms, and then you go like Siege Ram Cavalier before the guys on halbs, and then you go for like the all-in, especially down the center when you clear like the defenses. Something like that could have been interesting.
Maybe a bit like your Celts play with Paladins on Cup in Hidden Cup.
Something similar. Less powerful, of course, because Cavalier are nowhere near Paladin, but something similar. Yeah, down the center could have been nice. You just win one shot. Something to think about, maybe.
20 population lead now for our Bohemian player, trying to redock as well. That's stopped for now, but still like gold control everywhere, and Hussite Wagon now at the left hand side. I'm not even sure how they will do against water units.
Pierce armor, so physically they tank, but they do like 0 damage, so they probably don't really do a lot of damage to them. It just feels like now Halberdier Skirmisher is pretty much all ACM needs. Halberdier Skirm Hoof needs, and you just control everything. You will kill anything with that composition right now.
Just feels like Vikings, not a great late civ, and if we then exclude gold, it becomes really bad really quickly. No, like the light cav just missing massive upgrades. No halberdiers there either. Skirms, generic.
Yep.
Doesn't excite me.
Yep, not at all. We're seeing the Hussite Wagons versus Cannon Galleons up top, by the way, if you're interested. But yeah, they actually do win up close, but obviously Dark is not paying any attention here.
Yeah, I was interested, kind of not interested anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Looked interesting at first, but yeah, I'm good on that.
Halberdier push now left hand side, and Dark, he is just, I think if it's a practice game, he just will quit here and say, yeah, it's enough. We're not learning anything from here. But yeah, he desperately wants to avoid the 3-0.
Yeah. He's even getting fortified wall right now, and the score isn't even that far apart. So you might be thinking, you know, Dark still has some chances. He's still in the game, and while he might still have some chances, it feels like if ACCM was winning when he was down 1500 score before, and now that he's up with full control of the gold on both sides, I just don't see the win condition from Dark. And we're even seeing ACM come back on the water now. So he's going to clear the only thing that Dark has going for himself right now, which is that water control. Not going to last for long right now.
And back to the 5 relics.
Yep.
Another good thing for him. Now goes for some upgrades that were desperately missing there. Only forging now at the 49-minute mark on the late side. But, well, it didn't really matter, right? His main unit was with Nietzsche all game long.
Pretty much, yeah. He got Siege Engineer. It's the only attack upgrade you need for that one. Yeah. Now Halberdier's kind of in the mix here. Halberdier Hussite Wagon. I'm not even sure if you need to go Hussite Wagon here. I feel like maybe just Skirmisher does the trick. I think Hussite Wagon is not a bad option. Oh my god, big shots on the bottom there. Somewhat unnecessary though.
Farm setup is something that you should really like here for Dark. The thing is,
love it.
yeah, we're not really getting onto Hussars.
Yeah, exactly. Like this kind of setup only works if you have Hussar or like just even like strong light cav, but you have weak, really weak light cav. I can't remember. I don't think even did they get husbandry Vikings?
Oh, I had it wrong. I think I did the Masmora T90 quiz, and I had it wrong, and now I'm confused. I think they do not have it.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think they have husbandry. So these are probably like the worst light cav in the game right now. No bloodlines, no husbandry, no armor. Melee, yeah, and Dravidians actually, those are horrendous. But Viking is definitely up there, man.
Yeah, certainly. When do you make a tier list like worst Hussar civs in the game?
Oh my god, it's coming with all these new DLC civs that just don't have stable options. That tier list has to come in, bro. I shed a tear every time. They keep stripping away things from the stable and just seeing how I'm gonna react to it. I don't get it. That's what it feels like.
Next expansion has 3 more Meso civs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. At least Meso have eagles. I got some fun units to play with. Dravidian's got nothing.
Okay.
I like the mobility, man. What can I say?
Okay. Our push at the left-hand side continues. Bombard cannons, or Hufnice against the cannon galleons. As explained earlier, it's just like if you have those fights where you have water and land, bombard cannons are simply better. And now more raids at the top. It's just ugly to play for Dark from here.
I never knew that, by the way. This whole bomber cannons are better than ships is actually new to me, which is very interesting. It's definitely something I've learned this game. Yeah.
I played a lot of deathmatch on Golden Swamp.
Ah.
And there, basically, people learned that as well there.
Yeah. It's very interesting. It's counterintuitive because usually ships are like amazing versus all land units, but bomber cannons, especially Hoopneeds, proving otherwise here.
I actually, we have a Discord channel with all the developers, and I think yesterday I posted there. I would like to have cannon galleons do splash damage.
It would make sense. It's the only cannon that doesn't do splash damage, pretty much. Yeah.
Do Koreans TaToH ships? Do they splash?
Do they do splash? Yeah, they do. They do splash damage. Yeah. 90%.
Oh, villagers being pulled.
Oh no! Desperate attempt here. Those aren't fervor villagers, just handcart vills. Imagine how fast with fervor.
By the way, chat found out that bomber towers don't do splash damage.
Yes, that is true, but that's a good thing. But that should stay unchanged. To be honest, that's bomber towers are good enough as is. If
that changes, MBL wins every tournament.
Yeah, most likely. He's the only one that goes for them. I think it's an underrated tower. I think people should probably use it more often. But every time MBL tells Liereyy to do it, Liereyy says he'd rather have a castle than 5 bomber towers. So
plus 500 gold.
Yeah, exactly. Plus the gold. Plus the upgrades.
Plus the chance to build traps.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it's Liereyy just not convinced on them. But I don't know. Bomber towers feel annoying to play against when they come out.
What?
GG's called finally. Crazy stuff, man. 55-minute game in ACCM. We talked about it from the start, man. Bohemians just have one of the best late games in the game. Versus Vikings, one of the worst late games in the game. And apparently the water just wasn't enough this time around for Dark to really compensate. Well played to ACCM here, 3-0 for him.
No gold control. This is the moment where I often ask the chat to predict gold difference.
Okay, let's do it.
What is your guess? Do you think who has more? ACM or Dark?
Well, ACCM probably.
Okay, and by how much?
7k more? 7k more. You?
7k more.
Yeah.
It's tricky. I don't know how much they use the market. I will go. Oh, it's lots of relics as well. 7k feels like a good guess. I will go with 4.5k.
4.5k. Okay, let's take a look. Statistics.
Oh, fuck me.
16k more for ACCM.
I have no idea about this game, apparently.
Wow. Dude, props to Dark for holding on so long then. What the hell?
Yeah.
That was crazy. 16,000 more gold.
I have no idea how this game works.
And more relic as well. That's crazy. Yeah, it really didn't feel like it was that much. I guess ACM was throwing away a lot of gold units, like his sight wagons and stuff like that, but that's a lot of gold difference right there. And that just shows that like Dark had very little chances and actually played quite well to bring it to this late of a game, considering all that.
Well, the water obviously helped quite a bit.
Yeah. You don't lose any gold units by going for water. That is a very fair point. Hopping into game 4 right now. It's do or die right now. Match point for ACCM. Dark, of course, has to claw back 4 games in a row. Let's see if he can do it. It's Cumans for him on Enclosed, playing in yellow, and his opponent ACCM in red as the Mayans. Enclosed is the map that I've seen Cumans very, very strong on. I actually go as far as to say it's almost like a free win if you just get the second TC boom. Not saying we're going to see that right now. It's actually going to be a 2-range opening. How have you felt about Cumans? I'm really interested to hear your opinion from the games you've watched and played.
I like them. It's not easy to find a good counter, and obviously Enclosed was a set map in some rounds on the qualification, and I started to ban Cumans if I was facing the higher seeds who had the first pick. So I think they're pretty crazy. My approach against them, that didn't work too well because of reasons, was to play Burgundians and basically get eco upgrades, play 3 town center, monk defense, and once you get to Costier, I think you have a pretty good shot if you get to the late game. But if you lose 8 wills in feudal age, obviously your setup for the late game isn't great.
I don't even want to know what happened to lose 8 wills in feudal. It sounds traumatic though.
I was scared of his faster scout, and therefore I didn't scout.
Okay.
And after I told DauT that story, he was sure I was trolling him. Like it's 5%, Nili, it's 5%, not 5,000% faster. Oh man.
Also, it's not stronger, it's just faster. If he finds you, just fight him.
Yeah, and I didn't scout, sat at home, and he played scout archers while I went fast castle. Watered my builds and every will died.
Fast castle with double eco upgrades, man.
It didn't work out that well.
That's a story and a half, man.
Yeah. $200,000 tournament qualifier. Person too scared to scout.
Nearly what'd you lose to the Cuban scout?
Yeah, maybe 40 sets of practice wasn't enough.
We're actually seeing the archers from Dark now pushing in. He's going 2 ranges despite having the option for the second TC. Only now goes for the second TC. Remember, Cumans do get the cheaper ranges, so this is entirely possible. And great micro from Dark early on in this game. He's coming to play. He's got nothing to lose here. Might as well go for it, right?
Well, also Cumans are really shining in those scenarios, right? Archer aggression continues. 8 versus 8 military means defender's advantage will help out ACCM here, though. He's adding some skirmishes now, and I think the moment the second archery range gets up, he should be fine. But Dark behind the second town center.
Yeah. The Cuban scout is down now, so maybe we can play the game properly right now. Nothing to worry about now. Good micro spell still from Dark. Skirms being mixed in now from ACCM. Not something you want to do as Mayans, but sometimes you just have to do it, especially losing that early archer trade.
Town center only being built by 3 villagers. I think typically you build that with more villagers, right? Because you don't need 10 on gold either. Bit surprising
I
there.
think if you're going for a pure boom, I'd have like 10 vills on it, like just get it down as fast as possible. Since he wants to mix in military, probably just 5 would be good, but like you said, you really don't need that many on gold, so spread that out a little bit. It actually matters in the end because, you know, building it with less vills could be considered TC idle time in some ways.
Yeah,
Obviously a little bit of a
Dark,
trade-off.
Dark is slipping with this macro. 4 times the idle TC time compared to ACM.
True, 4 seconds. not looking good for him. And now he's got 2 Townsenders to compensate, I think. He should be able to claw back from that large deficit. But hold on, ACCM now takes the lead in idle TC time.
Oh
Big
boy, oh
slip there
boy.
for him as well. Yeah, the story develops.
Scouts now being added. I think there are enough archers still left. Or are they? 3 archers? I think you need to have at least 2 scouts before you show up. Although it's only 1 archer at the front. Some pressure could be put on here. But archers are falling for Dark.
ACCM is playing like he's not afraid of scouts right now, and he's gonna get punished here. But his reaction was perfect. He sees the scout, runs back, and does have some archers behind it. He's up to castage Nili, but I don't really see that much military right now for ACCM. The castage timing not gonna matter too much right now. He's adding that second range to help with the numbers. Oh, sorry, third range right now.
But how much does he have on gold? 11 on gold seems fine for production. Villagers idle there at the deer, not really focusing on those. Military numbers looking solid for Dark, but those scouts without any upgrades, not too scary.
Yeah, scrims in the front, archers behind. I think, honestly, a general rule, if you don't have a lot of scouts, that skirmishers and archers will actually beat archers and scouts. I've seen it time and time again. It just feels like the scouts, if you don't have enough upgrades, they get whittled down too quickly for them to get any value. Something to keep in mind here. Any overchop potential here from ACCM? He is chopping the wood, or the one tree that could lead to a hole in his base, but still 80 wood on that, so no potential there. Might see a Vill go down though. Yep, nice. Good pick off from Dark there. Gets 1 Vill, and we'll continue to look for more now. Castlage comes in for ACCM. Crossbow bought him.
What's good for Dark is that he keeps ACCM at home, right? That means he can continue to boom, he won't lose his army, military, or like the mobility advantage, more on the side of Dark, and therefore just annoy a bit more, maybe trade off against some skirmishers. Oh no, he wants to commit, what?
Oh my god, I really don't think that was the right call. You had it perfect, Nili. Just kind of keep the momentum here and keep the pressure on without committing. You're just trying to buy time. Don't like that. I like that he was able to get out with some archers, though.
Wait, that's a bit surprising. University's now getting rushed as well. And we're still, well, a solid some seconds away from clicking up. This one will be a timing window where Dark is still in Feudal Age, while ACCM might get Ballistics even.
And Ballistics is a really hard upgrade to fight if you're an age down, or even just losing a lot of momentum, because as you're getting your stuff together, as you're getting your army out on the map, the guy can just continue to pick off villagers and your army around your base here. Dark bought 100 stone to make a tower on the front. I actually like that decision. It's the only way to defend his gold. If I were him, I would have probably walled the bottom as well with houses. That would have been very useful. But now he's still pretty exposed on that bottom side. Does have 3 range production. It seems like he wants to play crossbows and castle should he survive. Ballistics 30 seconds away for ACCM now.
He won't mind the tower. Dives for those archers. Nicely saved. And yeah, those houses at the bottom could have really helped out. Zone out those crossbows. And you needed the houses anyways. Just felt so natural to war there.
Yeah, it's like, instead of taking that massive fight on the front and trying to do some crazy micro, just do the safe play, wall yourself at home and buy time with the archers. Now things are getting messy. Ballistics is in. Remember, these crossbows are very strong here.
Okay, where do we attack? Oh, and even the stone is scouted there by the other crossbow. He comes in with army at the top and finds those villagers. Oh, that's some nice kills for sure.
Yeah, those 3 fills are almost guaranteed to die. Dark's gonna run away right now. Let's see how ACM manages to chase them. ACM is in on the bottom side as well. Can easily pick up some vills from the farm. Can go around to the stone himself. And why is Dark so heavy on stone? He wants to play Kipchucks versus crossbows?
It feels so weird to me as well.
Oh,
he sees
man.
mass crossbow. He knew that it's at least 2 archer ranges, if not 3. Kipchucks won't do anything.
Not even the unit we want to go to, let alone like, can you even get there? I don't think you even want to get there, and massive damage here. Look at the crossbows being thinned out here. Ballistics, just a massive upgrade here. The villagers are running away, getting killed as they go to the town center.
Oi, 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 oi. Now goes for the wood. And now he's sitting at 360 stone. With no chance to transition into anything. But ACM, some losses there. Dark dodges ballistics quite nicely. But look at the queue of ACM as well. 14, 15 crossbow in the queue with only 3 archer ranges.
Wow, yeah. Pretty heavy. I mean, he's on 3 TC, so he's not really using those resources for anything else. Might as well get a nice little queue there, I suppose. I mean, how does Dark ever push this back?
I have some shots for Dave at the top. One skirmisher being chased by 3 Komodo dragons. Okay.
I love how the dragons bump on each other as well. That's my favorite part about those chases.
Meanwhile, some fight is going on as well. It's ballistics against no ballistics though. And Dark is trying to out micro base. ACM so active, finds so many kills.
Yeah. When you have ballistics, you basically have the control of the fight. You don't win every time because sometimes, oh my god, beautiful trades from ACM. You don't win every time because sometimes you get like the wrong timings, but you can always run away. Having ballistics is so crucial in those crossbow versus crossbow fights.
Yeah, absolutely. And those knights, yeah, 1 armor, but still no bloodlines. Crossbows still survive. More harassment at the top as well. Oh boy, ACM in full control. Sends him more at the left-hand side, finds more villager kills at the bottom. Dark, he can't be happy with how this is running out of control.
This one, what even happened? I mean, it all started with that weird engagement up top there when ACM hit Castle Age. Then we didn't wall behind, so we didn't secure our map, and then all of a sudden it just spiraled out of control here. Dark is in a very bad position. He's down villagers, ACM is adding the 4th town center, and mines tend to be a stronger late game civ than humans, or at least early imp civ than humans, so things just get worse and worse for Dark at this point.
And then like 12 villagers on stone, expanding to the side while he knew that he just needed to hold, knew that he needed the defensive tower. And yeah, just getting clapped everywhere. Now he takes the fight in the center, is getting overwhelmed. And it just feels like every time we look at some red dots on the minimap, it's something good for ACCM.
Yeah. He's always getting good value with his army, and that's exactly what you want as the Mayans. I feel like Mayans are the kind of civilization that want to fight a lot in Castle Age, by the way, because they've got the cheaper archers. You just want to fight constantly. Just go attack, and your economy develops so nicely behind it as well.
Yeah.
It just feels really smooth.
Yeah, agreed. Most of the time you're walled as well because that's your setup, so it feels like being active on the map. Makes a lot of sense. This time distance is pretty long, therefore counterattack becomes a bit more tricky. And ACM in full control, idles more economy here, is 15 builds ahead in a matchup where he should be behind in eco numbers.
Yep, he should be down maybe 30 bills at this point, believe it or not. If this game plays out like any of the other Cuman games I've seen, it's 30 bills lead for Cumans at this point. In this case, he's down 15 bills, and he's still struggling to stabilize. What I love about the mines as well is like any trade you take with the crossbows, it just ends up being decent. And if the guy goes too heavy on skirms, you can just go for that eagle switch. So they always have an answer to whatever your opponent goes for here, it seems.
Yeah, and you're not even that scared of Cuman skirms, right? Because, well, then let's battle it out an imp, and good luck fighting me without bracer. So ACM pretty happy with that. Now has enough stone for a castle. Aggressive one or defensive one?
Defensive. No, just chill. You're winning 100%. Just go defensive, claim some map. Maybe in the middle of the map, just put a castle down. But let's see, he's got different ideas. He's sending some villagers on the left-hand side, looking for a pretty aggressive castle, but not an all-in aggressive one, which is definitely fair enough. It's a good one.
Oh, look at CA overlay. I didn't know that monks were shown differently. Monks carrying a relic and monks not carrying a relic. It was shown 2+1 monks. So
one with a relic? Interesting, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna see it again here. That's nice, that's nice. Bosa not coming in for ACM, he had forgotten it, but again, not the biggest deal when you have so many other advantages there. Yeah, I see the relic idea now, it's pretty cool.
So many nice setups. Crossbow production not continued for now. Probably will stop after the 9 in the queue, will imp. Do you stay on Arbalest or do you try to force yourself through and go for plumes somehow?
I personally don't think plumes are all that special. I think that Arbalest does the trick for me personally. I don't know what you think. For me, I stay on Arbalest pretty much every time here. That's my taste.
I think
Don't know if that's
plume
correct, though.
switch only makes sense if you have 3 castles. And right now we have
Okay.
7 on stone, 1 aggressive castle that's there for trap production. I think plumes is, if my army is at home, I build the castles defensively, plume switch every single day of the week.
Okay, you like the plumes, yeah. On a map like this, plumes definitely makes a lot of sense because it's like it's more of like a very long map, if that's the right word to say. It's a very large map, so like you want to move from one side to the other quite often. Plumes definitely makes a lot of sense here. I don't know, man. I'm just really stubborn with it. Like I feel like the Arbalest gives me more of a spike. I like the extra damage on the Arbalest. I don't like to make a transition. So that's kind of my ideas there. But definitely plumes are solid once they come out.
Yeah, it's more like the mobility that you try to play with the plumes, right?
Oh, I think Dark lost the castle on the bottom.
Oh yeah, 400 stone on in the bank.
Oh my god, he actually lost the castle.
How did that happen?
Dude, he's literally DauT. That's the third or fourth DauT castle I've seen this series.
It was the castle. The villagers were moved because of the crossbows, and then the castle of ACM found the kill.
Oh my god, this is...
Crossbows now coming over. The first time that a Dark is killing villagers or like anywhere close to raiding for what feels like 16, 17 minutes now.
Yeah. He only had that feudal aggression, now finally coming back with some damage, but it's obviously too little too late. Imperial is coming in for ACCM. Dark is down so much, and the relics are even being picked up here, so ACCM is cruising to a very smooth victory, a very, very smooth sweep here, securing a spot in the Heidelberg Castle. He's 15 seconds away from Imperial Age. He's got set up for Arbalest, ton of ranges here, and some forward trebs, going out with another forward castle, which gets denied. Dark is going for his own on the right-hand side as well.
Dark goes for a castle at the right-hand side. Am I not live anymore? Over there, you know, I jumped back in time. To see the highlights. Okay, nice denial there for sure, but trap is the most important thing now, and it's imp against castle age, so one player can build traps, the other one can't.
Yeah. Darkovich. That's Dark's name.
Actually, I was hoping in the qualification, 2 players could have faced each other, being in the same bracket, Dark and Extra Dark. But Extra Dark got eliminated.
That's an amazing matchup. I would favor Extra Dark just because of the names.
Could have been something.
That's amazing. ACM funneling some archers. He's even doing an eagle switch. I love how cutthroat he's being. Even though he's so far ahead, he's still going for like the transition, still not taking it light, just because there's so much at stake right now. So he's gonna go for the eagle switch. He does not care how far ahead he is. He's still gonna make the plays.
Yeah, the other day we looked up the median income for Vietnamese people, and it's I think $350 per month.
Wow.
So just qualification here sets him up incredibly well.
This is life-changing amounts of money, pretty much.
Yeah. And he's a full-time player, right?
Yeah, I'm actually, dude, I'm very happy for ACCM because I feel like in the past, remember when DE first came out, he was overshadowed by BACT as, you know, BACT was the best Vietnamese player, but ACCM I feel like worked hard, he put in the time, he was playing a lot of games, and now, not only is he the best Vietnamese player, but he's actually proven to be a very strong contender for even these big tournaments, so props to him, man, he's come a long way.
Yeah. Last week, lost in the last round in a nail-biter. 4-3 there against Nicov.
Yeah.
In probably the best set we had in the qualification so far.
Yeah. And
GG, good luck in the main event. Heartbreaking for Dark, but ACM so well deserved.
Yeah, GG guys, get some claps in the chat for ACCM. He makes it to the $200,000 main event in Heidelberg Castle. It's going to be the first LAN event he makes it. I think the first international LAN event in general that he's going to go to, Nili. Correct me if I'm wrong there.
I think that's correct.
Big moment for ACCM. Yeah. So not only is it a huge amount of money right off the bat, it's also a brand new experience, and I'm personally very excited to meet him. I think he's a really cool guy, and he's showing how strong his play is right now. He's on top of the game.
So likable, so likable. Obviously missed out on Red Bull 5. Big loss there. I think that was COVID regulations, right?
That prevented him from going? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know the story, actually.
Too bad there. Yeah, now he will be there. And I think he's a strong contender to maybe even make it out of the group stage.
For sure. Like, in my opinion, ACCM is... Like, I've played against him... I forgot. I think it was, like, the only LAN tournament, one of the smaller tournaments. And I went, like... I think I won 3-2, but I was down 2-1. He felt incredibly solid. Like, he's so well-rounded. It was, like, annoying to play against because of how solid he was playing. Like, I used to think that ACCM was a solid player, but, you know, on open maps I'll get the better of him. But he was beating me on full scouts, and he was a very strong opponent. And on Empire Wars, he seems even more well-prepared than that.
Okay, let's jump over into the interview, Hera.
Yeah, let's do that.
ACM, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Congratulations! Arguably the biggest win of your Age of Empires career. What a crazy set and how dominant you were. How do you feel?
Yeah, I'm feel good. I'm super happy to be able to be in the biggest event in the years. So happy.
Yeah, really, really nice, and we are happy that you are there. Last week you had a crazy set 4-3 against Nicov there. How did you recover from that?
I think I learned from my loss. I think it's easy to learn to win, right? And it's really hard to learn from when you are losing. But I find a way to learn from the loss versus Nicov. He playing incredible, and I just improve from there.
Nice. So I assume you practiced a lot going into this week. How did your preparation look like? How confident were you that you qualify in the second week?
I think in the first week, I always think about I will be in Germany. I'm so happy. I mean, I'm always thinking about Germany. I'm not thinking about my opponent.
Okay.
But from this week, I think about my opponent. I don't care about I can go to Germany or it can be distract me. So just full focus from the game and play.
Nice. Okay, then we went into Arabia at the opening, and you opened scouts, he opened scouts as well, and somehow you managed to get to a lot of crossbow and dominated the first game quite convincingly. How did you manage to get into such a good spot?
Yeah, I think it's depend. I got really good map. They go in the back rise, and it's really easy to work. So I think I just make some scout to protect, so I can work, and then I'm gonna check his by what he doing, and he react with the rank. So I think okay, I need so maybe I gonna damage him with the crossbow timing, and then bombing a bit and transition into the CI later. And it's successful.
Yeah, and it worked out beautifully. Then you went into Kabasan, and you had a bit of different approach than he did. He went for the 3 TC play, you went for the 1 TC play, tried to retake water. Like, what was your reasoning behind that?
I think it's in the map Kawasan is really, the mid door really important. If you lose control of the mid door, you're gonna lose the game, I think. So I think I need to I think 1 TC okay, because I got 2 dogs, so I can make fishing shift from there and keep the control of the mid door and didn't let him to take backs. That's the key to win the game.
Nice, and that worked out nicely. And then the arguably best game was on Scholz. His Vikings against your Bohemians. Is your game plan completely try to get to Nietzsche, and how do you secure yourself to get to them?
Yeah, I think the qualifier is ongoing, so I will not say too much about this strat. And after the qualifier, I'm happy to share. Yeah.
So after the main event, you share?
No, after the qualifier today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. Okay, and then we went into what was your home map actually, enclosed, but Dark still picked it. And you went for Mayans against his Cumans. How did you find such a good timing there with all your crossbows? What do you think you could have done to defend a bit better?
I think at the beginning I need to check what's he doing, and he's not going for second TC and two rank and pressure me. So I think I need to defend and get the prey flashing, and so the defensive armor for my archer, and make another rank to keep. It's really good for my Yan because my resources last longer, and he doesn't doing the second TC, so and he cannot pressure me. Not killing my you kill me one villager, but it's fine. I think that approach is really good for Mayan because Mayan's really cheap archer and economy is just better.
Yeah, it felt like you defended pretty well. Then the archers did lots of damage, and now you're going into the main event. What are your goals there? What place do you want to finish at?
I'm not setting anything yet, but I'm really happy because it's my dream where we're a kid, right? And it's 20 years already. I played this game when I was from 13, and now I'm always dreaming like I want to play versus best player in the world, and now the dream come true. I'm really happy.
Nice. What are you most looking forward to?
Looking forward to meet all the friends, I think.
Nice.
A lot of friends.
yeah, that's so true. Like lots of people that you know from the internet. And now we're opening for questions from others. I see that Nova is typing. His question is, I wonder if there's anyone from the remaining 3 sets ACM would like to see qualifying.
I want to see who win, right? To see who won, who qualify, right?
Who would you be happy if they qualify?
Sisto and Slam is really tough because they're both my friend. I cannot. Okay. I want both to qualify, I think. And Sebastian Jordan, I prefer Jordan because he's my friend. And so Valas and Kingston, I don't know them and didn't talk to them a lot, so I don't know.
Okay. ACM, congratulations again. There were DauT cuts in every single game.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nili. Everyone.
Okay, thank you so much. And have a good one, ACM. Really well played. Happy to meet you in Heidelberg.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Congrats.
See you again, everyone.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye, Hera.